back in the day when I was like 14, 15, I used to play around in a music options class. So for those that don't know, before you go to your GCSE year, you mess around doing expressive arts. Well, that's what we did in my school. So obviously it was drama, music, art and design. But I had a particular interest in music. Not because I knew then I was going to be a prodigy or whatever, just that I like playing with the drums. So my music teacher at the time, Mr. Jacob, told me, oh, if you like the drums, you should come after school or whatnot. So I used to mess around after school, make a fake pop band that we had, and also some good times. So then I wanted to learn more about production, so of course I wanted to record what I was making and mess around with it. And then just doing a Google search, one night I found this software called Magic Music Maker. And then from there I just learned how to cut up samples, mess around with different beats, had some fun with that. Again, there's not like a long list of history I'm going to tell you, like, I was a classically trained bassist player, I came from Eton, I've got grade 8 and 3/4 in musical instruments. Nah. I literally got into music just out of fun, out of a habit, and it's become something that, got pretty decent at now. So yeah. I was more interested in just probably learning how to make tracks of end. So having one for like your vocals and then one for your drums, your patterns, rather than just making a beat outright like that. In those days, it wasn't a question of, oh, I want to do this for forever. It was, I love doing this whether or not I'm studying or I'm doing my coursework or whatnot. It was something I'll do in the background. And it wasn't soon until I graduated, and it's funny enough, I'm a civil engineer, I went in to bought a Mark II, an A of Instruments beat pad. And that changed everything. I actually got into producing properly in terms of like being serious about it through the help of theatre. I was actually producing tracks with my brother, Freddie Opoku there. Again, big up my brother. Proud of him, come on. And he just put me on into the world of theatre in terms of dance. That there's a lot of work that can be done there in that particular field, especially for producers that are looking to collaborate, not just give the track and then have fun with it. No, actually be part of the, whether it's the dancing itself, so again, having fun with the choreographing, or getting ready with the body movement. A lot of influences, but key ones in terms of what's helped define me. I have to give up to people like Artful Dodger, because All About the Stragglers album for me, great, just great. Like a lot of the music that I listened to, lucky enough I had a good sensible older brother with music taste that I actually really enjoyed, and I still enjoy. So I was one of those kids where I was lucky enough to still remember the CD player and the cassette player. So I used to run into my brother's room and play these tracks. So we're talking about influences, it's quite easy. Songs like Think About Me, the Neptunes. So Neptunes presents the Clones. Again, had that on repeat. My brother's 5-disc changer, by the way. Then of course Jay-Z's Black Album, I'll say. But if we're talking like key influences of production, then definitely I'll give up a shout out to Kanye, because tracks like The Last Call, that's just an inspiration track in itself. Then you've got obviously his mentor No ID, stuff he's done with Common, I Used to Love Her, Come On, those are classics. Then look at people like Jazzy Faye, just for the funk element as well, that I'm a big, huge fan of as well. Tracks like Just Fine, Mary J. Blige, just dope vibes, You just want to dance when you hear these tracks. Ninth Wonder, the music he's done with Little Brother, Crisis as well, just stupid, ridiculous beats you shouldn't be allowed to make. Then you go look, of course, people like Mikey J, in terms of, soundtrack stuff he does, the work he does with Boy Blue, just not just developing like production, but telling a story, like a narrative. I want to be able to distinguish myself between these people too. I want to have my own legacy, of course, as many people do. So for me, taking individual parts of Neptunes, when I hear their offbeats or their major nines, or hearing, bits of Crisis or Ninth Wonder, or Ill Mind, for me, that's helped me grow sonically in terms of what I pick and what I don't like as well. I like to say my music is more mood music, soundtrack to your everyday life. So the mood that I make my tracks in, it could vary. If I'm happy, I might make something soulful. But if I'm angry, I might make something that's very hard hitting. And I want to be able to tell a story, a narrative in that. So hence why my EP is called Open Dialogue, because I believe that everything that we do, especially day to day nowadays, is not just the influence of ourselves and what we see, but of our peers. I would say my sound is more offbeat. Definitely got some jazz and funk influences, but it stays true to its core, which is boom bap. So, you know what I mean? If you listen to my Spotify playlist and all the songs I've still got on my Mac, I love my hip hop. I like my BPM to be around 80 to 90. I want to be able to tell my story first. It's my story. That sounds a bit rude, but why would I wait for someone else to tell me who I am? I know who I am. I know what I do. So let me allow myself to do that first. And I know this is my first project, you know, so it's only going to get better if I pay attention to my craft and work hard. You know, if you work hard and you consistently work hard, you know, you should see results. So I'm hoping this is my worst project, if that makes sense. You know, I don't want you to think this is it, you know, he shot his load and that's it. No. We have to come again. We have to come better and stronger. And you're going to hear different varieties as well in this. So it's fair to say you've heard funk out. Great, thank you. I want to show that I'm quite versatile, but at the same time, I stay true to the form of what I like to make. You know, you're not going to hear something that's bizarre from me one day. Hopefully you'll be able to tell when you play, like, let's say you play my track and you play like a Pharrell track and you play a No ID track, you can tell it was made by me, but you can also tell it's influenced by the greats as well. Yeah, so the name of the EP is Open Dialogue. So the front cover of the EP will tell you all. Literally, that has been my studio for the last 2 years. So even here we're speaking, there's no secret, I'm at my boy's studio here. So bless Anish, bless Airbuds, you know, give me the space and time here. So right now, it's not like we're in some fancy EMI studio here. And I think that's what people need to remember as well. Like, the best tracks you've probably ever heard were made in a low budget studio, maybe a home studio. You know, a bad worksman blames his tools. And I'll be fair to that as well. If you hear my EP and say this is dead, it is what it is, you know. I'm not here to please everyone. But what I will do is do my very best at what I'm doing. And that's what I think I'm hopefully showing you in this EP and Open Dialogue, you know. You see the bag there, you know, I'm always with the backpack, you know. You see my machine right, you see here. And you see my keys, you know, my drums, you know. All the elements that got me to this point, then it's open for you to see. The soundtrack music that I make, which I like to define my music as, each track corresponds to that feeling. So when it starts, you hear Wow Era, which my idea when I made that beat was about I wouldn't even say the news or what we see every day, but the bubble that we're all in, you know. We all have to be wowed by something, whether it's our mobile devices that's telling us this current trending story or topic on Twitter, whether it's the news talking about Brexit, you know, there's always something we have to be wowed about, we have to pay attention to. So in that music that you hear, especially in the rumble part, you know, the confusion, hopefully that illustrates where our minds are and what we're thinking every day. I don't want to go so deep straight away and just hit you boom with the politics. So the next tracks after that reminds us of the good times, the first days, and hence the title of the track is the first day feelings. And when you get to arrivals at the airport, when you know you're in a nice city, you know, you're on the beach, you're chilling, you're relaxing, you know, the fresh vibes. Hence why you hear like ocean waves, you hear the beach, the sand, you know, in the background. You know, it's just a nice feeling, that first few moments. And from there I'll take you into Insta models. Now, this particular title confuses everybody. So as a disclaimer now, just don't think I'm talking or going at people on Instagram. Insta models, I'm talking about instant models. Models of a particular idea or reason that we feel fits for us. So I'm talking about the gym board. I'm talking about the conventional working 9 to 5. You know, I'm talking about Insta model. So the Insta model, whether we got this through education, whether we got this through our peers, just that instant model that we believe that things fit for us. So that's why you hear the weird trance sound, you know, it sounds very, very weird electronic vibes on this one. And hence that's what I think, and that's what I particularly see when I see all these things, especially on the social media. Like, everybody has got this, you know, I'm gonna build an empire, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna retire before I'm 30. That's all, you know, that sounds brilliant, that sounds wonderful, but it's all part of a model, right? And who created this model? Who told you this is the only way? You know, I think we need to find our way. And that was my way of showing and expressing my feeling towards that through Insta models. The next track, Climax, takes again another lift, because of course it's like I'm hitting you with something, then I'm trying to lift your hopes up again. And with Climax, I'm trying to do exactly that. Literally, it's the climax part. So where you're at a festival, when the beat's about to drop, hence why the beat goes in straight away. When you're having fun and you're about to hit the top, the ceiling, that's that moment I'm trying to catch for you. So it's about just living it out to the climax, because a lot of the time we want to show that we're living that way, but are we though? Are we actually hitting the top? We're just trying to show our friends that we are, and then really we're actually miserable inside. That's the reality. But then again, I take you back up with Funk Out. Now, Funk Out you must have heard, of course, by now. If you haven't, please go listen to it, check it out. And that's obviously my debut single. And that's literally just busting out, having fun, man. Funk Out. Not worried about anyone else, you know. You can say it's very similar to Climax, but the difference here with Funk Out is that you don't care who's around now. You know what I mean? You are just having your fun because you just want to do you. At that moment, that time, whether it's to shake a leg, whether it's to do a breakdancing move, you're just funking out. And I think we need to do more of that as well, especially when we go to concerts, man. I do too. I do film a bit when I'm at concerts, but I'll be damned if I'm watching the whole thing through my phone. You know, I'm there, I paid. I better be dancing. For £50 and I'm just standing on my phone. Nah. Dancing all the way. So that's what Funk Out is about, man. Funk Out, feel the groove, man. So in terms of what I would like to do, I would like to be able to put on a show and collaborate with the artists, hopefully, from this project that want to jump on the tracks and want to progress with me musically. Have a show like that. So I have 2 or 3 support acts, you know, myself doing a little DJ set and a live instrumentation set. Then that'll be dope. Build that, grow that, you know, and have actual musicians as well playing some of the, you know, the funky bass lines, you know, the drum patterns, you know. But I think that will be dope, you know. It's a blessing in disguise, but sometimes not necessarily a curse when you are ahead of your time. Like, people only get it later, but you can't help it because you're just so in your zone that you're making something that's incredible, so you're not going to try and conform to the time. Yeah, I'm nervous about bringing it out, of course, but procrastination kills dreams. Like, been doing music for a long time now, so I should naturally be putting something out, you know. And it's all about growth, just being focused on the craft and making sure, you know, I'm open to growth, open to, you know, experimentation on certain things, and just developing, knowing I don't know enough as well, because it's my first project. There's stuff that probably when I hear back on it, you know, a couple of weeks later, I go, ooh, I could have done this maybe a bit differently, but that's all part of the process. If I wait on it and try and perfect everything, it'll never come out. Do you know what I mean? It'll be the best story never told. So yeah, just put it out there, man. I think that's for everybody, you know. I'm not sitting here on my horse and chalice telling everybody, oh yeah, shit, I've got the project out. It's amazing, you know, I've been there, done it. No, it's my first one. So humbled, put it out, take it from there, and see where we go. So yeah, so RJ Flow, obviously I got the RJ.Flow, I think it's nice, cool, but I thought, okay, what's the reasoning behind it? So it rhymes with just. So I like to think when I do things, it's just, you know what I mean? Not like Judge Dredd, where I come down and lay the law and all that, but just like, it's justified, you know, no pun intended. I thought rhymes with just, yeah, rhymes with justice, just that, just this, yes, it makes sense. And just flow. So just flow with the apparent times, you know, whatever I'm feeling at that moment is what I make, you know, whether it's relevant to the time or maybe it's to future reference. So yeah, RJ Flow sounded to me fitting, so we stick with that.
You know, when you get such a big corporation, you could build up your own brand next to it. If you're really, you know, close to me, it's just gonna be my brand. Mm-hmm. So if people, you know, want to build their own brand, actually need to be as far away from me as possible to get out of the shadow.